Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to dive into a really important idea in Python, changing a variable's data type. Now, it might sound a bit technical, but trust me, this is a crucial skill for any programmer.
So let's start with a simple question. In Python, is it possible to take the number 100 and just turn it into text? Like the word hello? Well, the answer is yes, absolutely. And this process is what we call typecasting. So, before we start writing any code, it's really important that we're all on the same page about what typecasting actually means.
At its heart, typecasting is just the process of converting a variable from one data type into another. You can think of it like water turning into ice. It's the same substance, right? It's just in a different form. We're going to apply that same idea to our data.
Okay, let's dive into our first practical example, where we'll convert a number into simple text. On the left side of your screen, you'll see the Python code, and on the right, we'll break it down line by line. Line 1 is simple. We create a variable named num, and we store the number 100 inside of it.
Now, in line 2, we're using the type function to check the data type of our num variable. And as you'd expect, Python identifies it as an integer, which is just the programming term for a whole number. Line 4 is where the conversion actually happens. We use the string function to convert the value of num into a string. We then store this new text value in a new variable called text_num.
And line 5 confirms our work. We use the type function on our new variable text_num, and Python reports its type as string, which is short for string. This confirms we've successfully converted our number to text. Okay, that's pretty neat. But what if we need to go the other way? What if we have text that represents a number, and we need to do some math with it? Let's explore how to do that. In this next section, we'll cover exactly that, how to convert a string of digits into a real number that you can actually use in calculations. In line 1, we're creating a variable named ageText. Notice the quotation marks around 25? That's how we know and how Python knows that this is being stored as text, not as a number. In line 2, we use the type function just to be sure, and it confirms that age_text is a string. Because it's a string, you can't perform math on it, like adding 1 to get 26. Line 4 introduces our next tool, the int function. This function does the exact opposite of string. It takes the text inside ageText, recognizes the digits, and converts them into a whole number, or integer. We then store this new number in agenum. And to confirm our conversion worked, line 5 checks the type of agenum. Sure enough, Python now identifies its type as int. It's no longer text, but a number we can use in our calculations. All right, for our final example, let's look at a very common situation, converting a whole number, like 50, into a decimal number, like 50.0. So line 1 creates a variable called price and stores the whole number 50. At this moment, this is an integer. The key function for this job is float, as you can see on line 3. In programming, decimal numbers are called floating point numbers, or floats for short. This function converts our integer into its decimal equivalent, which we then store in the decimal_price variable. On line 4, when we print the value of our new variable, the output is 50.0. That .0 is important. It's how Python shows us that it now recognizes this as a decimal number. And for our final confirmation, line 5 checks the type of decimal price. Just as we expected, Python reports that it's now a float. The conversion is complete. We've now covered 3 different types of conversions, and they all rely on 3 very simple functions. So let's quickly summarize the key functions we've learned. These are the 3 main tools for your typecasting toolbox. To convert a value into text, you'll use str_of_it. For a whole number, you'll use int_of_it. And for a decimal number, float_of_it is the function you need. So we've covered the how of typecasting, but I want to leave you with the why. Now that you can change a variable's data type whenever you need to, what new possibilities does this open up? What problems can you now solve that were maybe out of reach before? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.